friends from all over the world. Welcome to another episode of Golden Memories. My name is Alfredo Santos. I'm the founder of Tourvent, and I hope that you are doing well during these strange times. As you probably know, we are still in lockdown in Portugal, so we decided to tape some videos for you to remember your wine tour, remember the landscapes, remember the wines, and especially remember the people that you met. Today, we will have a short talk with Luís from Guerra Wines. Hello, Luís. Welcome to Golden Memories. This is our series of episodes to make people, our friends from all over the world, to remember their tours in Douro Valley. So please introduce yourself and introduce Guerra Wines.
So hi everyone. I hope you remember me and Alfredo and Tourvent. I'm from Guerra Wines, located in the Douro. Obviously, many of you visited us during the previous years, not so much in this past year and a half, basically due to COVID. But well, most of you already know who we are. We've been doing agriculture here for many centuries. In fact, Guerra, as you might remember, is the name of my 34th great-grandfather. So a long history.
That's a great story.
It is, and a great and an enormous pride to have such a long history here.
Tell me a little bit about the impact of this pandemic situation in your sales and in your bed and breakfast that you run with your sister.
Well, it has been heartbreaking, really. I think that what we were expecting as businesses and also our partners was for 2020 and 2021 to be absolutely amazing years, not only in sales, but in influx of people. The amount of tourists arriving in Portugal, seeking wine regions, seeking different accommodations was something that was really surprising us even. The fact was that the pandemic changed everything. I don't think that the future I think that in the future we will come back to the same levels that we had before. But obviously, this last year and a half has been bad. There's no other way to say it. I'd say, lost 50 to 60% of revenue from sales. Wine tastings, it's even lower. We're probably talking about less than 25% of revenue. Bookings, basically last year for accommodation consisted of only the month of August. Most of the year remained empty due to restrictions on travel. And this year we're seeing the same thing. So these past 2 months since the beginning of the year have been very bad. So basically no sales, no tastings, no rental. So we're trying to do our very best to get people engaged, stay on social media, but obviously there's this lack of being with someone in person, to be able to communicate, to tell our story, to share our wines. That obviously has been hindered quite severely by the pandemic. I'm not exactly sure if this year 2021 will be the one that we will come out of this situation in full, but we are working our best to make sure that whoever decides to visit Portugal as the pandemic starts to go down and we flatten the curve, that we have everything prepared for them as well.
Yeah, although we have some restrictions for tasting wines, is it possible to taste wine?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Measures that allow people to have a safe experience.
Of course, not only during transfers and with partners such as you, but also in our own facilities. Uh, we have a different kind of experience because we normally just take one group at a time, and so our estate is already focused on family and groups of friends who travel together in sort of a bubble, and so we are in that sense better prepared for handling these kinds of situations. On top of that, per law, there are some regulations that we have to follow regarding safety for our consumers, namely availability of hand sanitizer. We always require masks whenever people are moving around inside enclosed areas, but obviously on the outside where some of our activities take place, mask is not required and it's not necessary. Inside we do encourage and people do use it, and hand sanitizer is always available. I myself, I'm always wearing a mask. It's become my second face. So basically, we have everything prepared and ready to receive people, even as the pandemic is slowly disappearing, and we will still have to maintain safety measures. We will have, and we have already, everything set in place to provide a safe experience for whoever wants to visit us again or for the first time.
Okay, that's the dark side of the situation. Let's talk about the bright side. You still have the wines.
Oh yeah, we do, and one of the things that that actually is quite funny, because I'm a farm guy, so whenever I'm not doing tastings, as many of you will remember from our talks, I'm at the fields. So I've taken the opportunity of this past few months to be more and more in the fields to take care of our precious vines, so that we have even better wines in the future. But we haven't been all quiet. We've been working. We've recently launched a new white reserve, which I'm absolutely proud of. It's this bottle here. So
okay,
you probably recognize, the lighting is kind of tough, but you probably recognize the crazy chickens.
Thanks.
They're still here, waiting for you. This new white is an absolutely amazing wine. It's a field blend, such as all our other wines. And this field blend is a mix of Rabigato, Erinto, and Viuzinho. And this aged for 3 months in French and American oak, a mix of the two. It's an extraordinary wine. Date, some flower aromatics, very, very good acidity and tremendous minerality. A fantastic wine, really. And I'm really, really proud. You probably remember I wasn't so keen on developing white wines with aging. I much prefer some lighter, fresher whites, such as our 2020 white. So even during the pandemic, we've been producing a new white, but this reserve, this new launch, is absolutely stunning, and I'm really, really proud. It surprised myself. Apart from these two that I've shown you, we're always improving on our blend of white port, which is even better. We have a new batch out. We are expecting during the end of this year to have a new 10-year-old white port out on the market as well. So in terms of wines, new labels, new references out. We're still working to make sure that we have an always renewed and always more interesting experience when people come back to us.
Great. So, Luís, you mentioned the expression field blend. Would you mind to remember our
Of course, of
friends from
course.
all over the
This
world,
is
what
this.
does it mean? Because in my opinion, this is something so special and so
It
specific.
is. It is.
Douro Valley,
Um,
it's not easy.
Most wine regions in the world um, have a focus on a couple of varieties, and even within wine regions, there are certain appellations which specialize in either unique varieties or kind of more standardized blends of two or three. Here in the Douro, that is not usual. We have in the Douro being used widely more than 40 varieties, and they are most times planted together in the same plot, all mixed up. We don't get a saying on the production of each. We don't control the amount of each. And that's why we call it a field blend, in opposition to a wine blend that will happen in the winery while we were producing. In this case, nature does the job. So nature mixes, it has specific weather conditions that will determine the percentual amount of each variety. And so the blend changes naturally. It's very suitable to our environment. These varieties are very sturdy. They can survive our relentless summers of heat. And so these field blends are sort of the core of what the Douro does. Obviously, we are exploring single varieties more and more to showcase what each can produce, but the core is always about blending, and not a blend totally controlled by man, but a shared responsibility with nature. And that's what makes every wine in the Douro, every region, every sub-region, every producer, and every year sort of an unique wine. And that's what I find it absolutely stunning and always interesting.
Because that takes you to consistency. You're not
Yes, it's
not supposed to expect consistency in such
no,
resume.
what we can offer is consistency in quality. And that's something that we're really proud, and that Douro helps us a lot. So whenever you're buying a new wine, even if you don't know that specific vintage, or if you don't know that specific blend, what you're going to get is a wine that is consistently good. Obviously, palates
They will
can
change
change.
every year.
Oh yeah, they do, and we're not too concerned about it. For most winemakers, that's really the pain that for people to actually have to produce the same wine over and over again. For us, we're not that interested in keeping the wine tasting and smelling exactly the same. We're more concerned about showcasing the natural qualities and the variety of flavors that can come from the same set of field blend, but with different weather conditions on different years. And that is actually something that I find very unique and very different. And people come again and again because Douro, it never ceases to amaze you. There's always something new, and there's always something just right for you out there, at
Luis,
least.
I think our friends from all over the world are probably excited about your white, your new.
Definitely.
So apart from that one, what else would you recommend if they want to order some of your wines
So yeah,
the next days?
actually, we have on our website at www.casadoromesal.com, which is probably going to be on some description link of the video. Well, you have our online shop. There you can select from our array of white wines, red wines, ports, olive oil as well, extra virgin, all from this valley. And you can select your boxes for shipping. We do have for our customers coming us through Tourvent a discount of 10% on wine shipped. There's a box at the end of your order where you can add comments. Just add your promo code Tourvent, and that will mean that you will have immediately 10% on wine shipped. We do recommend for the United States and for Europe, the bigger box of 12, because that's the one which 12 bottles. That's the one where transport costs are most effectively spent. But we're still doing business online. Our wine shop has been very busy of late, and we want to thank everybody who has supported us and keep supporting us. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to survive, basically.
Yeah, 10% is a great offer. Thank you so much, Luís.
No, you're welcome.
We're about to finish our conversation, so I'd like you to leave a message for our friends all over the world. I'm sure that some of them will be back sooner or later to Portugal, but if they don't want to be back, probably they will recommend our tours and your wines to some of their friends. So please leave a message for everybody all over the world.
So we just want to invite you all to come to Portugal. We've been through some rough times. Everybody in the world has, but soon COVID will be over and we will have to celebrate in style. So what best to travel across the Atlantic if you're on the Americas, or head down south to Portugal. We not only have the best weather, we have the best wines, and we have the best people, obviously, and Alfredo included. And so basically we have everything for you. We have the best wines, we have the best wine experiences, the best views, the best vineyards, everything waiting with everything ready, safe for safe travel, and with new products. I mean, there's a lot we can ask for a vacation. I think Portugal has it all. And so if you're planning to come, or if your friends are planning to come, or if like a recent survey out, 30% of Americans would give a year off of intimacy for a vacation. So basically, book your plane. We're waiting for you. We have everything ready, and it's going to be a blast.
Luís, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, Alfredo.
My regards to all your family and your staff, and well, hope to see you soon. Thank you so much.
See you soon as well.
You're welcome.